Alrighty, watch fans, welcome to the Zavtra T-37 Blowout Hotness pick part due. So hopefully you watched the first video. That was the automatic. This is the second video, hence the part 2 that's been done on that, which is going to be the quartz version. And for those of you that maybe skipped over the first version, yes, I am doing things differently because I had a catastrophic hardware failure and have not been able to shoot the video, but we're on to plan B, and we're going to get this done for you and still be able to do it, I think, in an appropriate way. Again, just very quickly, for those of you that haven't heard it, Zavtra is a watch company that is a collaboration between two of my very good friends, Wing Liang, the mad Sifu of Android USA, Android watches, and Craig Hester, the watch comrade, bringing you Russia2all.com with brands like Vostok Europe, Sturmansky, Nestorov, and a variety of others. So this is the second part, the very early part of this video. I'll go over the options and the watch specs for you, and then we'll take a little bit more of a detailed review of the timepiece as quickly as we can. So with that being said, and trying to be a little more brief than I was in the other video, let's go ahead and jump into the watch specs very, very quickly. Okay, so this model is basically a pilot-style timepiece, and that's why you'll see the air-to-ground or air-to-land designation used with this particular timepiece. It is a 48 millimeter case diameter that's been done on that. So again, many of you have heard me use the term before when I refer to the Goldilocks size. That means it's slightly larger than a mid-size, but less than really the oversized timepiece that's really very popular with a lot of folks right now. So 48 millimeters means everybody can wear this. Low profile, lightweight, because it is done on a 24 millimeter wide leather strap, large grain Caraco embossed. It's powered by an ISA 8171 3-jewel quartz chronograph movement. Chronograph just simply means it functions like a stopwatch. This one I love, and we'll show you some images of it in just a minute. The difference in sizes on the subdial registers that are being used as a part of the chronograph. There's also an important reason behind the 8000 series from ISA, which we'll get into on a different image to be able to talk about. It is going to come in at 500 meters water resistant, super Luminova used throughout. We've got a great lume shot of that we'll show you in a minute. But in a nutshell, this is your basic quartz chronograph in a pilot style, pilot look style timepiece on a leather strap. Now here is a good look at the three options that are available to you, and remember, this is $60 a piece for these timepieces. Okay, so for under $200 you could get all three and wear them however you want, give them as gifts. But anyway, the options that are available going from left to right as you are looking at it. This is my favorite. This is the brown, meaning you've got a radiant sunray brown dial that goes to almost black. You can see it in that shot, almost black depending on how the light hits it. All silver tone, 316L stainless steel case, and then you've got almost kind of a tobacco brown, beautiful large grain 24 millimeter wide leather strap with contrast stitching. That one to me is the hotness out of all of these. Now the middle one is going to be blue-black, meaning radiant sunray blue bordering on black. Again, you can see that in the image depending on how you're looking at it, with a black leather strap and the white contrast stitching. And then the last option that's going to be available to you is going to be the black radiant dial with the black strap. All of these are going to be identical. It's just a matter of dial strap combinations that are going on. Remember, 48 millimeter case, ISA, quartz chronograph movement, super Luminova, mineral hardened impact resistant crystal that's been done on that. A great look, and let's take a little bit of a deeper look, but for those of you that wanted just the short, brief look and intro and specs, there you go. Now here's a great shot of that classic blue-black. Both the blue dial and the black dial I refer to as the classic looks. The brown is, you know, the hotness within the hotness. But several things about this here very quickly. First of all, notice the outer bezel. That is a unidirectional rotating bezel that's been done on that. You can see very heavily machined with the various markings that have been done on that. And I've got to tell you, much like the automatic version, this is a very tight bezel. There is zero slop, meaning back and forth movement that you may find on some other timepieces. You can see the raised impact resistant mineral crystal that's been utilized on this T-37 timepiece. Now, speaking of the crystal, I want you to look at the 6 o'clock position where the date display is. Now, at an angle, this really shows this great. One of the things that I love about it is the magnifier, or cyclops, has been done on the underside of the crystal. So if you're not all that gentle with your timepieces, you don't have to worry about damaging that. That is something that happens with a lot of guys. That's a nice little tweak that has been done on this. I believe that was one of Wing's design aspects that have been done on this particular watch. Now, this is the, as I said, the ISA 8171 movement that's inside of that. So it's a two-eyed register. If you look at the larger register on the left, that is going to be your 30-minute totalizer. The register on your right is going to be your constantly running second hand. You're going to have Super Luminova on the hands and on the hour markers and all of the markers on the inside of that. So it is going to be green lume that glows green. We've got a lume shot of it coming up. And then the red hand at the 12. I know a lot of you already know this, but that is your chronograph second hand, meaning when you start the chronograph, the stopwatch functionality of this, that hand is going to begin to move. Now, what's important about the ISA, the 8171, or actually the 8000 series in particular, is ISA really led the way on the market with these quartz movements. It gives you a sweep. Now, don't run your battery down by running your chronograph all the time, but it's nice to have a quartz that gives a little bit of a look. And the way they do that, just very quickly, is a 5-step motor that controls that. And when I say 5-step, the easiest way to say it without getting all tech geeky on you is that it takes 1 second and breaks down that individual second into 5 components and deals with them separately, so you don't get that hard stop, start, or tick, 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 tick. It's going to sweep very much like an automatic does. Great look to this. You can see again the black leather strap a little bit with the contrast stitching. I love the high polish definition that's been done on that. Let's take a little bit deeper look. Now here's just a more head-on shot of the blue dial option on the black leather strap. I wanted to be able to show that to you as well. You can see the crown is pulled out. It is unscrewed. Remember, 500 meters water resistant screw down crown. The function pushers, however, are not screw down. Those are normally operating, and they have been designed with the gasket work and everything else necessary to be able to withstand the pressures of 500 meters of water resistance. Now, I mentioned in the last image about the magnifier, or the cyclops, at the 6 o'clock position. That is going to give you a little bit of a better look, only this time actually showing you the magnification as you're looking down at that. Again, Super Luminova used on the hands, the markers, the Arabic numerals, all of that. Now, we took a look at the classic blue. This is the classic black. Black dial, black strap, stainless steel case, brushed and high polished that has been done on that. You get a great look at that magnifier, or the Cyclops, again at the 6 o'clock position, and the Super Luminova, the hands, everything that's been done on that. A great classic look and a little bit more of a pilot style timepiece. Now here we're looking at the 9 o'clock side of the case, and it shows you several things very, very nicely here. First of all, you can see the high mirror polish that's been done on the unidirectional rotating bezel. You can see the raised crystal sitting above that. Below the bezel, you're going to see the 316L stainless steel case done in a brushed finish. And speaking of brushed, hopefully you watched the first video on the automatic. Notice how we're getting the up and down, the vertical brush as opposed to the horizontal. That is a more expensive option to add on that. At $60, you'd be hard pressed to find anybody else doing a vertical brush on there. You can see it is what's referred to as a signed case. So the T-37, that Russian amphibious tank going back to 1933, has been engraved onto the side of that, and relatively low profile as well. So it's not going to be poking out through the sleeve the way you would see on like a 20mm thick timepiece or an 18mm timepiece or 22, things of that nature. So very low profile, and on the leather strap going to be very easy to dress up any of these timepieces. Now unfortunately, this is about the only other picture I have of the brown, my favorite out of the three, and the one I recommend that you get. And again, I apologize for that. We're working with Plan B because of a hardware failure, but this will give you a great opportunity to see the buckle that's been done on there, the 24mm wide strap. Notice how thick the strap is that's been done on this watch. Very, very nicely done. You can see a little bit on the case back, which is going to give you the medallion style configuration with the Zavtra name, the engraving of the T-37 tank going back to, as I said, 1933. You can see the crown, the function pushers that have been done on that very, very easily. Dual keeper system on the strap. One is floating, one is fixed. That's been done on that, and I've got to tell you, it's a very comfortable strap. It's going to take a day or so to break in, but out of the box wearability, and that's one of the things that I love about Wing and how he puts the straps together. And in case I did not mention this, there are quick change pins that have been used on this watch as well. So if you wanted to swap it out to a different color, a different shade, put a bracelet on there, very easy to do with this leather strap. The quick change pins are on the back side. Just hook it with a fingernail, and in about 1 second the strap is coming off. But a great look, and again, the brown is the one I'm putting you in. I don't know how many there are. I'm just telling you, out of the three, this is the one I put you in. I've mentioned the luminescence that's been done on this, and in particular Super Luminova. Now, for those of you that are not familiar with this, or you're newer to timepieces, when it comes to a paint or a paste, as it is referred to, Super Luminova is going to be the brightest material, the most well-known, the most well-respected material that is available. It is also very expensive to be able to use as well. If you've ever had a watch reloomed, you certainly figured that out for yourself. You can see the rider tabs on the very outside edge. The 15 and the 45 are gee, if I can talk, most readily apparent. Then if you move in, you've got a slight marking for the hours that are still a part of the bezel. You can see the way that that is lined up. Then if you move in, you can see the Arabic numerals, the hour markers, the minute markers, the subdial that's been done on there as well, in the full loom as well as the hands. So if luminescence is important to you, or you have a job where you're frequently in the dark or low light conditions, this is going to work for you very, very nicely. I just do want to point out, this is not the watch you're getting. You'll notice that you've got the crown and function pushers on the left. I kind of stole this from a different version of the Zavtra, a lefty version. It's the same configuration, just kind of mirrored, so don't get confused by that. That's not the exact configuration you're buying. Everything else would be on the 3 o'clock side, a little bit reversed, but you get the idea. And I wanted to let you see that for 60 bucks on one watch, 60 bucks, you're getting Super Luminova. Now here's the buckle that is on this T-37, and I'm showing you the buckle for a reason. One of the things that Craig did, and actually the initial kind of design inspiration, this military meets elegance configuration, was going to start with a Yak-9, which is a Russian airplane. And that Thunderbolt that you see that's been done on there, the arrow, if you want to call it that, is the representative symbol for the Yak-9. So what Craig has said is that every Zavtra that he does will include this at least once somewhere on the timepiece, and this is one of the locations that you'll find on this watch, and that is going to be on the buckle. So a little bit of Zavtra trivia for you. It's good looking. You know, is this going to be a huge standout point when somebody sees it on your wrist? No, but every time you see it, now you'll know why it's there. Now, the second place you're going to see that Yak-9 Thunderbolt or arrow that's been done there is obviously, as you can see, on the high mirror polish crown, screw down crown, remember 500 meters, water resistant, that's been done on this timepiece. So there's the second area that you'll see that. But I want you to notice too the contrast in finishes that you're getting there. If you start at the bezel at the top, just above the crown, you can see high mirror polish, you can see the machining that's been done on that. When you come down, you'll see the vertical brush finish on the side of the case, much like I showed on the 9 o'clock position or 9 o'clock side of the case as well. Vertical brush is going to take longer, slightly more expensive to be able to do. High mirror polish on the screw down crown and the function pushers. Remember, function pushers aren't screw down on this one. And then you can see the thickness of that leather strap. This is not some chintzy little, you know, cardboard feeling leather strap. Very nicely done on this timepiece, and it looks like that's the brown. That's the only other image, unfortunately, I had of the brown. Take my word for it, grab that brown. The brown is the most unique of the three. And lastly, as we wrap everything up here for the T-37 Blowout Hotness pick, is going to be the custom packaging that's been done for the Zavtra. What you're going to notice is the outer sleeve on the left-hand side, and then the top loading box on the right-hand side. That box will then fit into the sleeve, obviously. But what I wanted to show you was the camouflage configuration that's been done on this in this custom work for the box. It's just a nice addition. You know, it holds true to the design inspiration, the military meets elegance, the military T-37 tank, amphibious tank design, all of those sorts of things. Because think about this for a second. For $60, you're getting a custom done box where they could have went out and just got, you know, a plain black box and had the Zavtra name put on it, and it would have been cheaper to be able to do that, because, you know, hey, you've got to figure and put this cost for the packaging into the overall cost of the watch, and they didn't cut a corner. Everything from start to finish on these timepieces holds true to the original design inspiration. And quite frankly, it's not surprising to me when you bring in somebody like Craig, when you bring in somebody like Wing, you put them in a room and come up with a watch, that's what you expect. Excellence from A to Z, from start to finish. And for $60, I'm telling you folks, you're talking darn near cost on this timepiece. So click the link below. You've got the choice of the automatic for $121. You've got this for $60. Mix and match, buy multiples. Grab this while you can. I don't know that you're going to see this price again. But anyway, thanks for putting up with Plan B. I hope you enjoyed this and it helped you with your purchasing decision. This is the Hotness pick. Hope you grab it.